Google. My name is Megan McFall. For those that don't know me, I'm the director down here at the USU Spark Building and the regional director for the Small Business Development Center. We really appreciate our partnership with Google and the Grow with Google program, that we're able to bring these incredible classes to those that participate. This is a national program, so we're really excited that those are joining us on a national level. And some that join us even on an international level, which is really exciting. I love today's presentation because it shows us how we can take our business from either a local and even a national level to an international level, and how we can utilize applications for free and take our businesses to the next level. Those that are joining us, I would love to have you put in the chats or in the comment section if you're joining us on any of our social media platforms that we stream live on. Let us know where you're joining us from and what type of industry that you're joining us in, so that we know how we can, what kind of industries that we are addressing, because that's a lot of fun for me to see, especially as a business consultant with the Small Business Development Center. We are streaming live from southeastern Utah, where most of our industries are in the tourism industry. So if you hear me refer to those, it's because those are the ones I work with the most. But my background is actually in restaurants as well as e-commerce. And so I will talk a lot about that as restaurant, e-commerce, and actually finance. So I own a wealth management firm too. So those are the kind of things, if I'm talking about personal stories, I relate to the most as well. So if you have any questions as we go throughout today's webinar, feel free to put those in the chat, put those in the comment section. I will do a Q&A towards the end and go through those as well. If you are joining us on Zoom and you want to ask questions live as I'm going through, feel free to break in. I get really tired hearing my own voice as I teach these classes. I teach multiple on Monday. And so I would love to have you join the conversation and ask those questions live, because if you're wondering those same questions, I know that there are multiple people thinking those same things. So let's go ahead and get started today. I want to thank our co-sponsors for this, is the Rural Online Initiative, or ROI. If you're here in Utah, you know it as, for co-hosting all of these Grow with Google events and joining us. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go, this is the agenda for this. It's going to why export, what is Market Finder, export in different markets, planning operations, market your business, and then we'll recap and give you new resources as well. Okay, why do you want to export? Well, there's 541 billion in output, excuse me, in output generated by export in 2017. The reason why I use that number is because it was pre-COVID, and ultimately we will get back to the pre-COVID numbers once we kind of get all of the government operations and all of our businesses back to normal. So that is our pre-COVID numbers. And so there's ultimately, as well as 6 million jobs connected to exports of US businesses. Okay, so 96% of the world's consumers live outside of the US. That's another huge reason as to why you want to export with your business, and make sure that you utilize some of that buying power for your business and build your business. Okay. A few export benefits. Let's think about this. So number one, you have new markets that you can build your business within when you go for a global customer, but also it puts you at a competitive advantage with your local competitors when you're exporting, because you're able to tap into new markets and have new customers to purchase your goods and services. Okay. A few more will be new talent pool. So you have you can access multiple national workforce, as well as there's government incentives actually for exports or businesses that export, which is really awesome. Okay. What selling overseas can do for your business. Okay. Make more profitable, competitive, and innovative business. You can boost your profile at home and internationally for your business and create a larger commercial footprint. Okay. Questions to consider before exporting. Would your business benefit from exporting? We talked in the first little section about when you export, you may have to make adjustments to how you do business in order to export, in order to accommodate rules, policies, treaties, things like that. In order to export into a new country, you may have to change something about how you do business, and it may go against a mission or something that is very important to your business. And is that worth making that change for your business? And that may not be. And so that's something that you as a business owner will need to decide whether that is worth it or not, okay? What products and services could you offer on an international level? There are several things that you can do very easily international. On the same note, there are several things that you can't do on an international level. The cost is not going to outweigh the benefits and things like that. These are things that you really need to think about very, very seriously before taking the plunge into exporting, because it might end up costing you more money to move internationally than it would be the benefit. So these are things that you have to think about. Okay, and then what questions do you have about exporting? Make sure you have all your questions answered. There are several agencies, several businesses, and there are several actually government funded operations to make sure that you get all your questions answered, as well as talk to other businesses that are exporting, that have gone the ropes. Make sure you get all your questions answered before you do it, so that you don't go in blindsided into something. Okay, what is Market Finder? Okay, Market Finder is a digital tool for export planning. Okay, it will help you explore markets and get advice on operations and then market your business. Okay, so this is a video we're going to watch about what Market Finder can do. Maybe.
Founded a juice store. Market Finder can help John to discover potential export markets, develop a marketing strategy, and understand the operations of every step. John gets started by entering his website URL. Market Finder scans the website and identifies relevant categories.
It doesn't want to share the audio. Give me 1 second to pull the file so that you can hear the audio.
Google's free Market Finder tool can help you find global markets to export your products to. Market Finder uses Google's free Market Finder data insights to help you find global markets to export decisions about Market Finder in a matter of seconds. Unique data insights has founded a juice store. Businesses make Market Finder decisions John to discover potential in a matter of seconds. Develop a marketing strategy and understand the operations can help John to discover potential export markets. John gets started by entering and understand the operations. Market Finder scans the website and identifies relevant categories for John's market website based on the product that he can Market Finder scans the website, combining the product categories with categories for John's market insight based on the product volume metrics. Market Finder selects combining the markets with the highest export potential data for John's business and search volume. John creates and completes his profile, selecting and confirming the key export markets in order to delve deeper into the metrics and logistics of each one. John, you find it. Google's free Market Finder tool can help you find global markets to export your products to. Market Finder uses Google's unique data insights to help businesses make informed decisions about international growth in a matter of seconds. John has founded a juice store. Market Finder can help John to discover potential export markets, develop a marketing strategy, and understand the operations of every step. John gets started by entering his website URL. Market Finder scans the website and identifies relevant categories for John's markets based on the products that he can export. Combining the product categories with Google's unique data insights and search volume metrics, Market Finder selects the 3 markets with the highest export potential for John's business. John creates and completes his profile, selecting and confirming the key export markets in order to delve deeper into the metrics and logistics of each one. John explores the market insights to discover key information about each market, such as the country, economic, and online profile. Using Market Finder, John can easily compare each potential market to his current one. The insights can show how much people earn on average and the number of monthly searches for juices, as well as the ease of doing business in that market and the logistics of exporting. This information allows John to benchmark each market against his existing one and plan his market export strategy. John has analysed the potential new markets for Juice Biz and now wants to plan his operations. John uses Market Finder to understand which payment method is best for the German market and search for a payment provider that can help him export to this market. After setting up his operations, John wants to discover how to reach the right audience in Germany. He uses Market Finder to create an international marketing strategy to support his advertising and measure his success abroad. Guides, articles, and case studies tailored to his business objectives are at his disposal, and John can learn about popular keywords with data sourced from Google Trends. Just one of the useful tools and services available to him. With the help of Market Finder, John can create great campaigns for his new markets. In response to COVID-19, we made a global COVID-19 hub to help businesses like John's optimize their performance. This hub has various resources, including consumer and demand insights, operations best practices, daily updated market trade measures from International Trade Center market analysis tools, and more. All the information that John needs to export successfully is now in one place. Google Market Finder. No matter what you sell or where you sell it, find new customers abroad and take your business further. Get started today.
So that was a little bit of an overview of what Market Finder is and what it can do for your business. So let's break it down a little bit further. So I'm sure you've all seen the balance bike, especially if you've got kids, you've seen the balance bikes. Ryan built his toddler a balance bike. And it's basically a pedalless bike to help toddlers balance and work the bike. Ultimately, he started it about 2 years ago. And he utilized YouTube as a way to market his business. Well, what he found through his videos on YouTube is that he had a massive following in Japan that watched his videos. And so he thought, I wonder if I could sell and export into Japan, and that would be a good option for me to build my business and start an international business. And so what he did is that he went through the 3 steps of exporting utilizing Market Finder. So he started with planning the international growth strategy, which is the first step. The next step is to build your operations. And the third step is to scale your brand and advertise across the borders. Okay, so we're going to look at exploring the markets. Okay, so if you go to g.co Market Finder to start your journey, you can click Get Started. Here's where you're going to enter your website and you're going to click Agree to the terms and conditions. Again, they're going to pull information from your website. They're going to pull your analytics off of your website as far as your trends, your categories, things like that. And so they need your permission and you agree to the current terms and conditions so they can utilize that information and do the market research for you. And so that's why they're going to ask you to do that. Okay, from there, based on your website, they're going and your analytics, they're going to pull the categories that they think your business falls into. Okay, if you feel like there's additional categories that your business is going to fall into, you can add those categories. Or if they add an extra one that your business really doesn't fall into, or maybe there's something that you don't know you're not going to want to export or you can't export. And so you can take that particular category off by hitting the little X next to that category. Once those are where you want them to be, you hit confirm categories and it moves you to the next level. The question there is, where do you want to sell? You have an option of whether going just on a US basis. So say maybe you have a local business, you want to look at what options are on a national level, or you want to go global. You have the options to choose and utilize this on both levels. We're going to go global here. So we're going to review a global path. What Google will do is they're going to take the information that they have gathered with your analytics and your website, and they're going to take those categories and look on a global basis. They're going to look at the trends in each of the global countries, and they're going to go and they're going to figure out what 3 markets your business would be best to expand into and give you 3 recommendations. Okay, from there, you can choose the profile and create a profile for your business to get more information. The reason why they want to create a profile is so that they can tag that with your business and you can go in and do additional research. And so you don't lose all that information. You can set as a domestic market, you can review your information and essentially sign up with email updates on what's going on with those different markets and what you've set as your preferences. Okay, so you're going to select your potential markets. So these are the recommendations, but you don't have to go for those. You can take some of them off, or you can add additional markets that you want to research. Like, for example, you might have lived in a specific area, so you know a specific country very well, or might have connections in a specific country, and so you might have an additional foot in the door. So you can add that specific country into your preferences as a potential. So you can want to see what it would take to do that or to make those connections. And so you can add that in as well. Okay, you can view your country profile, and by viewing the country profile, you're going to know the populations, the language spoken, the currency that they use, the corruption indexes, the median age, and the population breakdown by age as well. These are the things you would add to your business plan through your market research. Here, if you're going to stay locally, so you need to know that obviously as well on a global level. Whoops, double hit. Okay, view the economic profile. You're going to want to know the GDP and all the different aspects that go within the GDP, like your purchasing power, the annual growth of the GDP, and the household net disposable income. And there's so much more information, but depending on what industry that you are in will depend on how that additional info will affect your business. And so that will be a really incredible profile for you to research. The next will be the online profile. Okay, monthly searches across the categories that your business fall into, the Google ad recommendations for the bids, the internet population, and then which devices that are used there. We talk about making sure your website is mobile. This will help you ensure that your website hits those different devices properly. Okay, next, because we're international, we're going to have more of an online e-commerce space, and you're going to want to know the buying behavior or purchasing behavior or within that country. And so you're going to want to know this information. So you're going to want to know the product research breakdown by device, again, going back to the mobile behavior, the internet usage and purchasing stages. We talk about purchasing stages when we talk about building your website. It goes back to that same situation there, okay? And then the weekly online purchasing breakdown by device as well, okay? Logistics is a whole nother section that you have to think about when you're going global. Okay, the trend, the trading across the borders, the time to import and time to export, the compliance rating, the compliance data, and then of course the documentary compliance data as well. And there's so much more to think about depending on which country you're going into. And so this is going to be a vital section per country that you're looking at going into. Okay, operational planning. Anytime, regardless of where you're looking at, anytime you go into business, your operational data is very, very important. If you've got your operational data and your operational system set up very, very well here in the United States, now you have to take those same operations and build them to be global, okay? So your localization, your government payments, or your global payments, your customer care, your logistics, your talent recruitment, and your tax and legal, all of these things have got to be explored and put to fit whichever country you're going into. And so you're going to have a whole new set of operations that are going to go for that country, and they might be different from what you're operating into the United States because there's different rules and regulations that you have to comply with in a new country. Okay, so inside on operational planning, it was going to be another section that you're going to need to look at. Things like localization, learn how to understand the localization, localize your business, okay, and localize into a different country. The next will be the globalized payments, different payment channels that are available within that country that you can utilize from here in the United States. Managing the global payment system, and then how to make payments easier for your international buyers or purchasers. Okay, customer care, learn how to analyze the customer care plan and get ready to scale your customer care, manage your customer care. Do you need to have an entire customer care team within that country, or are you able to take care of that here in the United States? Those are the type of things that you need to consider when you're going global. The logistics, the how to. Understand the international logistics. Right now, we're having a supply chain issues here in the United States. Are those going to affect your ability to get your product out of the United States and into another country and vice versa? Okay, understand and plan your logistics by country. Okay, you can't have one global plan and think that it's going to work in every single country. Every country is going to be different, so you have to plan by country. And then find the logistics provider that will work best for that country. So every country you go into, you may have a different logistics provider. Okay, talent recruitment. International, figure out how you're going to recruit internationally. Okay, and then country recruitment requirements. You may have different requirements in that different country than you have here in the United States. There's different labor laws, there's different rules that you're going to have to abide by, and you're going to need to learn those as the employer. So you need to take the time to learn those. And then taxation and legal. International law is something that you're going to have to learn as the new business going international. International legal and tax constraints is something you're going to need to know. If you're currently using a CPA to do your taxes and your bookkeeping, you're going to have to make sure that they know international tax codes and tax laws in the United States as well in that other country. If they don't, you may need to get a new CPA who does. That's something you're going to have to determine as the business owner, because at the end of the day, you are liable for the tax and the legal of your business, okay? And then ultimately, the requirements of that new country because you will have new taxation of that country as well. Okay? Questions to consider. What operation topics are you most concerned about as you plan your expansion? These are things you need to think about very deeply, because the more planning you do up front and the more systems you have written out and verified, the smoother your expansion will go. Next is which Market Finder resource can help you get your questions answered? And if it's not on Market Finder, where can you find those questions? Are there a service within your state? Is there another business that operates there locally that you can go talk to? Where can you get your questions answered? Is there an SBDC like my center here that has connections that can link you up? Is there a World Trade Center? Is there an extension, manufacturing extension service that you can connect up with? Who can you talk to get your questions answered? Okay, marketing your business. Now, marketing your business internationally is going to be different than marketing your business locally. There's different trends, there's different analytics, there's different cultures, different customs, there's different ways that people in other countries are going to look at your business. And so you're going to need to learn a new global marketing strategy, and it's going to be different again per country. So these are the things you need to look at. You're going to need a new global market strategy. You're going to have to learn how to measure your performance and your performance measurements. You're going to have to obviously learn how to advertise in each country because it's different in every country, and then find a trusted partner. Okay, so there's a section within Market Finder called Marketing Your Business. There's tools and guides and resources to help you advertise your business to your global customers. Okay, learn about the important tools that you're going to need. So obviously you're going to need a global market strategy. You're going to need to understand the global market strategy that you need to create. Again, it's going to be different per country that you're going to go into. And you're going to need to create that strategy, just like when you went into business here and you had to write a business plan. There's a section for your market strategy or your market plan for starting your business. Same thing for your expansion. You're going to need that marketing plan. Okay, your performance and measurements. Understand the analytics and the measurements for that country. It's going to be different from what you did here. What measurements of success are there, and how are you going to measure that? Okay, advertising. Okay, search advertising, display advertising, and video advertising. These are the three major ways you can advertise on a global level, and you need to understand them all, and you need to know how they work within your marketing strategy and how they work within your measurements and your performance. Okay, last but not least, you need a trusted partner within that country that you can utilize to help you do marketing. You are here in the United States. To be able to market within that country is going to be very difficult unless you have a trusted partner that you can utilize to help you market your international campaign successfully within that country. Okay, Google has gone through and done a lot of work to vet several partners and give you those resources so that they can be trusted partners, because moving into another country, you don't have the background or have the connections necessarily to find those vetted businesses. And so Google has some of those available in every country that you can reach out to and get those trusted partners. Okay, so some resources that you have. Your next step. So looking to go internationally, number one, you can go to g.co Market Finder and follow the steps we went through. You can look through the different countries that it's recommended, but you can also add some different countries. If you want on a local level or a domestic level, you can do the same thing there. Research, learn about the potential markets that for your business. Get all of that information that you need and make sure all your questions are answered before you invest the money going global. Okay, there's a cost to going global. You need to know, just like there's a cost to going into business. You need to know what you're getting yourself into so that you don't get blindsided with something that you didn't have all the information for, okay? Develop an operations plan as well as a market strategy for what you're going into, as well as join the small business, succeed, join other small businesses in selling globally, okay? Next steps, try Market Finder and find new markets, build a marketing skills, and Google has several free tools that you can utilize to build your marketing skills, okay? Primer is one of those that you can use. It is an app you can download. It gives you 5-minute little tools, essentially, on a daily basis that'll help you learn and prioritize business and build your personal skills. Okay, you can also use Grow with Google on Air to watch lessons like this on demand that are done all over the United States to go and learn the information on a regular basis. So say you like this information, but you want to go back and watch it, you can watch multiple different classes like this on demand. My favorite thing about these classes is there's never the same one twice. Even though it's the same topic, it's the same information, it's different people on these classes, different questions, and they are all essentially change every single time we do it. So there's quick help videos. They're available on the Quick Help, the G.co Quick Help. They're also available on YouTube. If you go to Grow with Google on YouTube's page for 5 minutes. There's also free help with Google.com/grow for these different sectors. So thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a small little bit of time. I know your time is limited because we went over. Do you have any questions? You can drop those in the chat. We've got about 10 minutes that we can drop those into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share and bring up the social media platforms and bring up any questions. If you have any questions for those that are on Zoom, go ahead and put those in the chat or go ahead and ask those live. I get tired of hearing my own voice, so go ahead and bring those up live if you would like. Such a quiet group. No questions today? Doesn't look like there's any questions today. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, Christy. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. We appreciate everybody that joined us today. If you have any questions that you think about after the fact, go ahead and email those to me or drop them. If you're joining us on any of the social media platforms, go ahead and drop those in the comments. I do monitor those throughout the day. And we'll get those questions answered for you. We will have class next week, Monday morning at 9 a.m. We appreciate you joining us, and we will talk to you next week with Grow with Google. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.